It's bad boy for life. We all love a bad boy, don't we? Yeah? Not a sex trafficker, we don't. This has just ruined so many good songs for me. Biggie's album has P Diddy all throughout it, doing his little ad-libs. That was shit, but we allowed it. More Money, More Problems will never sound the same again. And the D to the A to the DDY. It's fucked. Yeah, we'll have a bit of a laugh, don't we, before we get into the miserable, disgusting crimes he's really actually committed. So yeah, I think this is like my fourth video on P Diddy, because for whatever reason, the man cannot stop committing crimes. And he was actually very truthful when he said bad boy for life, because life is exactly what he's looking at, or at least 25 to life. Because this man, after reading the indictment on him, he's fucked. He is absolutely fucked. He is going from that beautiful mansion he owns straight to a miserable, grotty little jail cell. And you know what? He's such a fucking prick. He really deserves it. So far, he's been charged with racketeering, which is basically criminal activities designed to gain profit disguised as legitimate business deals. Sex trafficking by fraud, force, or coercion. This is the practice of illegally transporting people for sexual exploitation, and then also transporting people to engage in prostitution. And honestly, reading all of this, it's just like a slam dunk, man. This is going to be the easiest case of their lives. Now, they've thrown him straight in jail. He's asked for bail. They said, get fucked. He then offered them 50 million in cash, and they still said no, which is unheard of, by the way. I mean, that's the level of desperation we're at right now. We were saying, look, I'll wear an ankle monitor. I'll have personal security so that you'll make sure that I'm not a flight risk and all of that. They don't believe you. He's even offered to not speak to any women because it's just like he's clearly such a fucking danger to them. But the government aren't buying it. And the fact that they are keeping him detained like this says a lot, in my opinion. They don't trust him because they know not only is he a flight risk, but also the witnesses in this case are at risk if he's out on the streets. Because this psychopath, and that's exactly what he is, by the way, will stop at nothing to get what he wants, and that is absolutely clear. And the funny thing is, he predicted this in 1999 in an interview.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time.
So he knew fine well what he was doing was wrong and that he was going to get in trouble for it. And guess what? He did it anyway. Now, the indictment alleges that Diddy used his businesses, which is his resources within the business, the money, etc., and his employees to facilitate his desires, including his freak-offs. What a word. What a word that's become, honestly. And just to give you a little list of exactly what him and his employees got up to here, we've got sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotic offences, kidnapping, arson, bribery and obstruction of justice. Wow. Like, you know what? You're P. Diddy. You've got all the money in the world. You don't need to do any of this. But for some people, the more powerful they get, the more dark their imagination becomes and the more they want to push the boundaries to do the craziest fucked up shit possible. And this is what happens when a psychopath gets this much power. Even those words coercion and enticement to engage in prostitution, it wasn't enough for him to get consenting, prostitutes who do this by trade. What a trade. Do you know what I mean? I don't remember that in my apprenticeship. But people who do this for a living anyway. It was fun for him to take people who would never ordinarily have been a prostitute into that so that they could become his toys. And by the sounds of it, P. Diddy and his employees would do whatever it took to get women into his inner circle to participate in whatever fucked up shit he was into. He would use threats. He would use intimidation. He would even use the offer of a romantic relationship, that lover boy method that Andrew Tate made famous, to get them to participate in whatever he wanted. He would then get these women to engage in sex acts with male prostitutes that he'd also hired for his entertainment. He would basically sit back and direct it and have a wank at the same time while the whole thing was being recorded. This is absolutely mental. He's got the brain of like a 14-year-old psychopath. Like, it's not enough for him to just get a woman who loves him and have sex with her. And even then, there would have been people who are willing to consent into some of this fucked up shit. And maybe some of the people involved were consenting. But the point is that just was never enough for him, clearly. It's the power of getting people to do what they ordinarily would never have done. That's part of the thing that fucking gets it off for him. Now, these freak-offs would apparently last for multiple days and would involve multiple sex workers. And during them, he would supply them with a number of legal substances to keep them obedient and compliant with what he wanted them to do. And not everyone was aware that they were ingesting these substances. I think he was spiking drinks, for example, and also they certainly weren't aware a lot of the time that they were being recorded. And the morning after he got done with all the drugs and all the bullshit he put his body through, he'd actually need an IV, like actual fluids pumped into his body, just to recover from what went on. Like, when you're pushing yourself that hard, it's not a party, mate. This whole thing of Diddy's parties, fuck off. That's a whole nother level, that. And weirdly, I don't know what level his mother's involved in this, and there's some suspicion that she was involved in some way, shape or form, maybe in the recruitment, I don't know. But there's a video of her and him getting an IV, like the morning after.
Yeah, my mom's gorgeous. Let me introduce you to my mom, called Ma Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Ma?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too.
Wonder where those lips have been. You gotta ask though, don't you? Fuck me. And now, a word from our sponsors. Now, hair loss, it happens to the best of us, lads. Me personally, when I started going thin at the back, I thought, get rid. I'm not going to be seen dead with a comb over, because to those of you who are still trying to do that, you're not fooling anyone, let me tell you. And little did I know when I opted for the bald life, there actually was another option out there. And I'm talking about Elite Hair. They have the world's biggest hair clinic, and it's located in Istanbul, so you can safely and comfortably travel over there to Turkey. And their treatments are 100% painless, using a process they call the sleep deep method. So you can go there knowing that pain won't be an issue. And Elite Hair are great at pre-treatment care. They want to know that you are the right candidate for a hair transplant before flying you over. They will personalize this experience to you. So they'll tell you what is going to happen, how many grafts you'll need, and even if you'll need a hair transplant in the first place. When you're in Istanbul, all the doctors will be communicating with you in English, but there are translators there just in case you need them. Elite Hair have a bespoke aftercare app to give you tips to maximize your transplant, remind you to take medication, and give you updates on your journey back home. And within 6 to 12 months, you'll see new hair growing in the affected areas. With over 100,000 happy patients, you'll know Elite Hair is the right place to go. And there are plenty of before and after pictures on the website, so you can really get a feel for what to expect from Elite Hair. And with them knowing that I've got a lot of blokes who watch my channel, they've even decided to give one of you lot a very special prize. All you've got to do is click the link in the description below and fill in your details. And one lucky lad will be drawn from the lot, and they will be given a free beard or hair transplant at the world's biggest hair clinic. And they'll cover your flights and accommodation, so you can have a proper break while you're getting your hair back. All of that's worth around $4,000, so it's a great prize. And if you're interested, remember, click the link in the description below, get your details in. You've got to be over 18 and from the UK or Ireland. But good luck to all of you who enter. But for now, enjoy the video. So Diddy's crew would book the hotel rooms for him and stock the rooms with the freak-off supplies. This would include the drugs, the baby oil, the lube, extra sheets, so that inevitably when the sheets were absolutely ravaged by whatever the fuck was going on in there, they could redo the hotel room the next morning. They would make sure all the cash was there so Diddy could pay the sex workers afterwards, and even the IV fluids would be ready and waiting for him. What's mad is it's such like a military operation. Like he's doing it that often that he's got it off to a T. And obviously, as you've all have heard by now, when they raided his house, they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. How the hell does that happen? I understand, like, we need loads of baby oil, right? We're doing these freak-offs regularly. I don't know what point the baby oil comes in, right? I've never needed baby oil for sex before. I understand maybe they're using lube or whatever. Why so much baby oil? I need to know this. If I heard 100 baby oils, I'd be like, well, that's a lot. It's a hell of a lot. But I suppose if you're doing like 2 freak-offs a week, 1 full bottle of baby oil, depending on what the hell's going in there, maybe, I don't know. But 1,000? It's as if he's making sure that in the event of World War III, we go down to the bunker, the freak-offs continue. We got enough forever, no matter what happens. Ironically, he's got enough for 25 years, which is probably what you'll be looking at in jail. Now, in order for Diddy to keep these victims continuing with these freak-offs, he put them through a lot. There was physical violence. He promised them them career opportunities that sometimes would obviously never happen. He'd tell them he was going to support them financially and then withhold that if they didn't do whatever he wanted them to do. He'd track their whereabouts, so he would let them know, like, I know you're here, I know what you're doing. So they constantly felt this overbearing pressure of, like, you don't have freedom. You belong to me now. He'd even dictate their appearance to them. So, like, what they were wearing, how they did their makeup and hair, all of that. It all had to be about what he wanted. Obviously, he had them on drugs, right? So he had the supply of drugs, so he had control over them in that sense. And he even kept an eye on their medical records. Let that sink in, how in-depth this man was willing to go to maintain control over these people. It's fucking dark. And these victims have reported that during freak-offs, but also outside of freak-offs, they were subjected to physical abuse to a point where sometimes it would take them weeks to heal from. And remember how powerful P Diddy was within the music industry, right? This guy is one of the most powerful men in music. And some of these people were in the industry, so he would threaten their careers and their livelihoods if they didn't participate. And that level of control must have been unbearable for some people. So when people say, oh, well, they could have just not done it or whatever, that's fucking a lot of shit to be put through that. And then remember, he's got footage of them doing all of this stuff that he is telling them to do during the freak-offs, things that they ordinarily would never have done, probably very embarrassing. And he then holds it over their head, threatening them to release it, exposing them if they don't continue to please him. I'm surprised some of them didn't commit suicide, honestly, because it feels inescapable when you're reading how controlled they were. Now, there was a lot of violence towards a lot of different women, it's quite clear, but one of the key bits of evidence they've got is when Cassie Ventura tried to leave the hotel room and was captured on CCTV being beaten up by P Diddy. There is Cassie trying to put her shoes on as she ran from him while apparently he was in the shower. He realized and he gets out the shower, throws a towel on and comes running down. I mean, this guy's a psychopath. Grabs her, throws her to the floor and then starts kicking her. It's just disgusting what this man is. She just lays there because, yeah, I mean, look at that. She doesn't even want to run or fight back. She's so terrified of him. He's throwing things at her. I think that was a vase they said that he threw at her. He's really a monster, this man. Apparently, when a member of the hotel security intervened, he actually tried to bribe them to ensure their silence as well. And according to the indictment, one of his victims was brutalized so badly that they had to go into hiding so that no one could actually see how bad the injuries were because it would have connected it to P Diddy. And the crazy thing is, this is like the 4th video I've done on this guy. Let's not forget, everything else he's also been accused of before this even. There was Keffe D, who was in the car when they shot Tupac, who said that it was P Diddy who put him up to it. He'd already paid Cassie $30 million to not go any further with her accusations, which is ironic because he's going to get fucked for it anyways, thankfully. One of his ex-girlfriends, Gina, had also came out and accused him of beating her up, saying that he'd punched her in the side of the head, stamped on her stomach, you know, further patterns of this behavior, clearly. Lisa Gardner accused him last year of forcing her to have sex with him and another associate of his when she was just 16 years old. Another woman who chose to remain anonymous said that when she was 17, she was in the studio with P Diddy and a group of men and that they plied her with drugs and gang raped her. It's insane how much smoke there is here to say that P Diddy could even possibly be innocent. There was also the lawsuit from Lil Rod, the music producer, who said that he was forced to provide drugs and all the assistance for these bloody freak-offs. He said he seen P Diddy shoot a guy at the studio and then also said that P Diddy was trying to like pimp him out to Cuba Gooding Jr. Fucking weird, by the way. And one of the girls from a band that he was managing called Danity Kane even did a lawsuit where she had verified that he would beat the shit out of Cassie, including like slapping, choking. I think he threw like a scalding hot pan on her. And when she tried to help the girl, he threatened her life. This man is a real danger to society. Like, they should never let this fucking prick out. And honestly, I'm actually really interested to know what could come out next because I feel like we're looking at the tip of the iceberg here. He has so many huge celebrity friends that he's been very tight with for many, many years. God knows what they've all been up to together. There's this interview with Usha where he talks about being around Diddy when he was like 13, 14 years old and Diddy was his custodian.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's.
Did you see that gulp from Usha? Just run this back. His head's down, We're talking about his time with P Diddy, and there's a gulp.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was.
Let's be real here, right? What the fuck is any 13-year-old doing hanging around in that kind of environment? Who the fuck would have thought that was a good idea?
But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was.
If you can't even understand what you're looking at, you shouldn't have been there. Like, I understand the 90s was a different place and attitudes were different, but like, this is mental.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
And I definitely remember hearing a story from Usha where basically a woman came in his room and fucked him. I mean, he was definitely underage. That shit took place under the supervision of P Diddy. And let's look at the way he's been with Justin Bieber, because that is really fucking weird.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose. But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
I think this video was taken maybe a few years later, or like a year or two later.
Everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you
not really.
ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'd hazard a guess to say Diddy's about 40 there, Bieber's about 50, and judging by what people are saying, what kind of 40-year-old man, other than Michael Jackson, wants to hang out with a 15-year-old boy, and when he hasn't seen him, Royal, starts making him feel like guilty about why you not hang out with me no more? It's fucking weird, man. And then years later, there's this footage of Bieber at a Diddy party just totally wrecked.
Bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
Signing the bad boy. Announcement.
It's your icon alert. It's called He's Bad Boy Now. Bad boy. Bad boy.
You just wonder, don't you? You just wonder, has the diddler got to him? Honestly, you really do. Because he's done other interviews where he sounds really mentally scarred. And look, I know like being famous must be a horrendous being that young, but it sounds like something's gone on.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her,
You just don't know. It doesn't bear thinking about, actually. So Diddy's lawyer has given a statement. Let's see what he's got to say for himself.
Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges.
Not afraid. You know when you're picking your language for something as serious as these allegations, to just say, I'm not afraid, it's just such a strange choice of words. I get they're trying to be like bullish, like we've got nothing to hide, we're innocent, but to just say, I'm not afraid, it's just childish language, that.
There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day.
Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to dealing with these allegations. Fuck off, man. Nothing he's saying even sounds believable already. Like, if you want me to believe the overall conclusion that you're innocent, the things you say before that have to make a bit of sense. He sounds like he's talking bollocks.
He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime.
No crime. We've literally got footage of him dragging her around a fucking hotel room floor, mate. Beating her up. No crime. Fuck you, you lying bastard. I hate lawyers who just don't have a soul, do they? They don't give a shit.
Someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case.
Well, why is that? Is that because that civil case that she brought was just the tip of the fucking iceberg? It would appear so, you fucking dick.
We're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent.
You know what he's doing, though? I shout out to Bruce Rivers, a criminal lawyer, YouTuber, a good friend of mine. I've had him on the channel before. He did say, look, they're just going to give him false hope and bleed him dry for every penny, and the outcome is going to be the fucking same anyway. Which, according to Bruce, was actually 25 years minimum. And it makes total sense, man. There's so much evidence. And one of the key bits of this is they're only going after Diddy, which means the other people who are involved have probably said, we'll testify, just don't put us in jail. So he's fucked. He is fucked, mate. And honestly, there's a lot of really powerful people out there who just treat people like absolute shit on the bottom of their shoe. And they get away with it because they've got so much power. And I can't help but think, you fucking deserve this, you prick. And I hope they throw the fucking book at him. But that's us up to date for today. But I will continue to do more updates on this case as and when it comes out. And I'm sure there's a lot more to come. But if you haven't already, hit the like button and stay subscribed to the True Geordie YouTube channel for more. And I'll catch yous on the next one.